Let's talk about the one big question that seems to be on everyone's mind right now. In an age where AI can do almost anything, what on earth are we supposed to learn to stay relevant? It's a pretty overwhelming thought, I know, but as we're about to see, the data actually gives a surprisingly clear answer.
Okay, let's just get right to it. This is the fear that keeps a lot of people up at night, right? Is some machine about to make your entire career obsolete? Now, headlines love this question, but the real story is so much more interesting than a simple yes or no. Because what if I told you that, on the whole, the exact opposite is true? According to the World Economic Forum, by 2030, AI and other megatrends won't lead to a net loss of jobs. In fact, they're projected to create a net total of 78 million new jobs. This isn't an apocalypse, it's a massive rebalancing. To make sense of all this, we're going to follow a 5-part roadmap. First, we'll tackle that big question. Is this an apocalypse or just a rebalancing? Then, we'll look at who's really affected, where the new opportunities are hiding, and from there, we'll build out your personal strategy and a clear plan for the future. So let's kick off with part 1, apocalypse or rebalancing. The data points away from a catastrophe for the job market and much more toward a massive structural transformation. The world of work isn't ending, but it is changing, and it's changing really, really fast.
Just look at the sheer scale of this change. Yes, 92 million jobs are expected to be displaced, but an incredible 170 million new ones are said to emerge. So the real story here is this massive churn. About 1 in 5 jobs will be disrupted by 2030. The challenge isn't a lack of work, it's navigating this huge transition from old roles to new ones.
And we actually have some breathing room. Even though AI can do amazing things, most companies are nowhere near ready to deploy it at scale. A McKinsey study found that only 1% of leaders describe their company as mature in its AI adoption. This gap between what's possible and what's practical, well, that's our window of opportunity to adopt and upskill.
So, who is actually being affected? That brings us to section 2. See, the disruption isn't as simple as one job disappears, a new one appears. It's way more nuanced than that, and it's happening at the level of individual tasks.
This concept is absolutely crucial. The great unbundling. For the first time, automation is targeting cognitive white-collar work, things like summarizing documents, writing simple code, or analyzing data. And that means we can't think in terms of job titles anymore. We have to start thinking in terms of tasks. And that's exactly why, all of a sudden, highly educated professionals are the ones most exposed.
This table shows the front lines of that unbundling. We're seeing a rapid decline in roles heavy on repetitive data processing, like data entry clerks or bookkeepers. But notice what else is on this list. Jobs like graphic designers, where generative AI is starting to take over routine creative tasks and research. Now, this unbundling is creating an acute crisis for one very specific group: entry-level workers. A recent Stanford study calls them the canaries in the coal mine, because the simple, foundational tasks you do to gain experience are exactly the kinds of tasks that AI is best at automating.
The Stanford study found a shocking 13% relative decline in the employment of young workers in AI-exposed fields, like software development. Companies are using AI to augment their senior employees instead of hiring juniors, essentially removing the first rung of the career ladder.
So if entry-level jobs are shrinking, where on earth are those 170 million new jobs coming from? That brings us to section 3, the new opportunities. And the growth is happening in 2 very different, almost paradoxical categories.
On one hand, you see the explosive growth in high-tech jobs that you totally expect: AI specialists, data analysts, prompt engineers. But then, look at the rest of the list: agricultural workers, nurses, delivery drivers, and construction workers. These are human-centric core economy jobs that are also booming. What is going on here? Well, in these fields, AI is acting as a tool, not a replacement. The growth in agriculture isn't in manual fieldwork, it's in new roles in sustainable ag tech. In nursing, AI takes over the paperwork, which means caregivers have more time for the human connection that AI can't replace. And with software developers, AI automates the simple coding, creating massive demand for experienced architects who can design complex AI systems.
Which brings us to the core of this entire analysis. Section 4, your strategy. So what exactly should you be learning? The data points to a very clear 2-part answer. This right here is the formula for success, a dual strategy. On one side, you double down on the timeless human skills that AI can't replicate, things like emotional intelligence, creativity, and critical thinking.
And on the other side, you build practical skills in collaborating with AI. Learn to use the tools, prompt them correctly, and analyze their output.
And the market is sending a crystal clear signal about the value of that second part. A recent PwC report shows that workers with AI skills earn a massive 56% average wage premium compared to their peers in the exact same job.
Just look at this comparison. That 56% premium for AI skills absolutely dwarfs the premium for a master's degree or even a PhD. In today's market, practical AI competence is simply more valuable than most advanced academic degrees.
So how do you actually get there? Our final section provides a practical roadmap for building these skills. It's all about being strategic in how and what you learn.
Researchers at Harvard Business School give us the perfect mental model for this, the nested skills tree. The foundation of your career is the trunk, those durable human skills like critical thinking. Your branches are specific technical skills, like a programming language, that can become outdated. And your leaves are the latest tools that you have to constantly refresh. A strong trunk allows you to grow new branches and leaves throughout your entire career. This means your learning strategy should be a stack of different formats. Use a university to build that strong theoretical trunk. Use a boot camp to quickly add a new technical branch if you're changing careers. And use micro-credentials, certificates from Google or AWS, to constantly grow new leaves, prove you know the latest tools, and go after that 56% wage premium.
Look, it's not about getting a single education anymore. It's about building a system for continuous learning. The data is clear, the strategy is straightforward, and the opportunity is huge. The only question left is the one on your screen. What skill will you learn first?